what's up? Let's keep it. Hey yo, what's up? Let's keep it real, son. Count this money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey yo, put the grants over there in the safe, you know what I'm saying? Cause we fit in these Jacksons. The Washingtons go to wifey, you know how that go.
I'm saying that's what this is all about, right? Clothes, bankrolls, and all, you know what I'm saying? Yo, then what, man? What?
Visualizing the realness of my life in actuality. Fuck who's the baddest. The person's status depends on salary. And my mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live the dream for all my people who never made it. Cause shit, we were beginners in the hood as 5%ers. But something must have got in us, cause all of us turned to sinners. Now some resting in pieces, some are sitting in San Quentin. Others such as myself are trying to carry on tradition. Keeping the sweat from and street ghetto essence inside us. Cause it provides us with the proper insight that guide us. Even though we know somehow we all gotta go. But as long as we leave and leaving, we'll be leaving with some kind of dough. So into that day we expire and turn the vapors. Me and my capers.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Black History Month movie reviews. I'm here with, of course, Quez once again, reviewing the ninth. We are back. All right, Quez, a grade on the intro video.
Nostalgic.
Yes, indeed. With the old school VHS quality camera. Yeah. Oh man, but yes, we are going to be talking about the 1991 hood classic Boyz in the Hood. Me and Quez been wanting to talk about this one for a long time now, and
this movie was the reason how we started developing this series. And we're gonna keep
pretty much, man. And this is the movie that you could say laid the foundation for all the hood movies that came after this, you know, and of course, you know, you got Boyz in the Hood, which came out in 1991. And you got a legendary cast. Listen to how stacked this cast is, especially considering that most of this cast, a lot of these people, this is their first movie. But think about how stacked this cast is. You have Cuba Gooding Jr., Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, Ice Cube, Morris Chestnut, Nia Long, and Regina King. That's a stacked damn cast, bro. And this is an ensemble cast before everybody blew up. That's crazy to think about, that all these people is in this movie, and this is before they blew up. But, you got three Academy Award winners in this: Cuba, Angela, and Regina.
Yep.
And then of course you got Ice Cube, you know, one of the greatest rappers of all time, in his film debut, which of course he would go on to write and produce the famed Friday series. Then you got, of course, Nia Long, her first movie. Morris Chestnut. Y'all remember, not just from here, but from Best Man, and Like Mike and all of them. And of course, Regina King, from Boondocks, and will later be Ice Cube's sister in Friday.
Jerry Maguire.
And Jerry Maguire, which Cuba Gooding Jr. also won his Oscar from Jerry Maguire. This is a crazy cast when you think about it. And
Fishburne.
Larry Fishburne, back when we were known as Larry Fishburne, dog. And this is Larry Fishburne and Angela Bassett before What's Love got to do with it. Hell, I think this is Angela Bassett's first film, because she did a lot of TV stuff before this, but This is her third film. Because she was in Kindergarten Cop. I don't remember her in Kindergarten Cop. Okay, yeah, this is her third film. This is before the Jackson Story. So
Yes,
so
yes.
so this is a crazy ass cast, and of course, Boys in the Hood, written and directed by the late great John Singleton. As much as legendary as the movie is, yeah, the backstory of this is also legendary, where you have John Singleton, who was 21 years old when this movie came out. 21 years old, right? This is his first film. Right out the gate, he gave us a classic. He went to USC for college, and he wrote this script. And he wrote the script. It was also kind of like a Sylvester Stallone situation with Rocky, where Hollywood liked it, but they wanted to buy it from him. They wanted to buy him like $100,000 for the script, which back then, like in the late '80s, early '90s, $100,000 was some damn good money. But John Singleton was like, no, this is my movie. I want control. And thank God, because if anybody else directed this film, it would not have near the same impact as it did. Hell, so much so, Boys in the Hood wouldn't have a Z in the end. It would probably just be Boys, like Bouy's. You know what I mean? And of course, in the movie is about Trey Styles, who was living with his mama, Angela Bassett. And then you kind of get to see what young Trey was on the road to becoming before it finally escalates to a point where he gets in trouble with it at school. And then Angela Bassett has young Trey live with Furious Styles, Lawrence Fishburne's character, to teach him how to be a man, how to be responsible, to not end up in the streets whatsoever. And we get to see how Trey and his childhood friends, Doughboy, played by Ice Cube, Rick, played by Morris Chestnut, Brandi, which played by Nia Long, and and all his friends around him, and the decisions that they make around the hood lead to tragic results. Now, Quez, I'm pretty sure, just like you, I was really young. Okay, I remember the first time I watched this film. I was about 8 years old. 8 years old, and I can say this was the first adult movie that impacted me as a kid. Like when you're 8 years old, like movies like movies like, I don't know, fucking what was a very emotional movie for us kids back then? Fucking like E.T. when he goes home, or when Hardball,
D-Baby, bruh.
Yeah, when D Baby gets killed, like that was emotional. But Boys in the Hood to me was like the first like adult film that like impacted me, and I remember watching this film in Chicago, and I was just amazed at how great storytelling this movie has, damn good acting by a fairly young cast. And how impactful this movie was for me at a very young age, and this movie was very impactful for the people when it came out in 1991.
James, let me ask you a question. How do you see any parallels from like on your rounds, like when you was coming up in Chicago, to watching Boys in the Hood? If you notice, were there any parallels or any differences between like the regions, how you came up, and what you seen in the movie?
Yes. Crazy crazy parallels, like the scene, bro, like the scene when the kids want to go see the dead body, and then the hoods, was simply say, "Hey, let me see that ball," whatsoever. Like quick story. I had a, I had a, I had a cousin, right? Had a cousin got this brand new bike, right? Brand new bike, and and he wanted to go. It was summertime, Chicago, and I was visiting him, and then he wanted to go ride the bike. Now my my aunt at the time was telling him, like, "Boy, don't you take that bike outside. You know what's gonna happen." And she was like, "No, mom, I'll be fine. I'll be fine whatsoever." And then and he was like, "James, you like please watch out for him." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, I guess." So we ride down the block. We ride down the block, we ride down the, around the neighborhood with it, and we talking to some girls, right? And then this, this dude had to at least keep in mind, we're like 10, 9, 10-ish, and this kid had to at least be 17, 16, 17, something like that. And then he asked, like, hey, he's looking at my cousin's bike. He's like, "Hey, man, is that your ride?" He was like, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, yo, like, let me ride it whatsoever." And bro, Quez, when it gets to a point, bro, when you on the handlebars and the dude's like on the steel part of the bike, asking you to ride the bike, shit's gonna get dangerous. And and dude said, "Yo, man, I'm just gonna ride just up the block, just up the street whatsoever." Keep in mind, we little niggas. And
old boy already on the bike.
yeah, our boy was already on the bike, man, and when he got off the bike, and man, his bike was stolen at that point, bro. So yeah, so there was a lot of parallels, to this film that kind of caused some PTSD. Well, what about you, Quez?
There was a few in this movie. I ain't gonna say it was like up to all this extremities, like how it is where they was coming up, where they at. Like some of the stuff, like you remember the scene where they was all in the backyard for the cookout in the beginning of the movie.
Yes,
like,
the cookouts. Yeah,
the cookouts where it just be like somebody, like it don't even need like a big cookout to the park. Sometimes it just be like cookouts like in your own neighborhood, like somebody at the house they cooking out, and like other people from the neighborhood can pull up and they just go ahead and grab plates and stuff like that. Like we used to have that coming up in the hood, like everybody was cool with each other. That was like on the same street, We had stuff like that, and then there was also situations where, like there was like certain situations in areas like we couldn't go. Like my mom's always told me, like, don't go down this street, don't go down, just stay on this street, up and down the street, don't go around the corner, because that's where the bad bloods be at. Don't go past this street, because that's where all this other stuff going on over there. Don't be over there, and then you go down there, showing up, you step into some stuff, And of course, as kids, you don't listen. You don't listen. Just thinking, oh, it ain't gonna happen to me. Like one time I got jumped just going around the corner where I ain't supposed to be. And like you and your cousin, I had my bike. Fortunately, I was able to take my bike back to the house because my mom was the type, like, if you got your bike taken, she was gonna force you into the car and drive you around until you found that bike or find the person that stole your bike. So she was right.
Oh yeah, bro. Like,
and the case was like it was a couple other scenes where it was like it was like the drive-bys that's going on in the movie too. But again, it wasn't like as played up and dramatic as like how the movie is, like how you will see like in California. It was just more so on the lines of like just niggas shooting and just shooting anybody that was in sight just to get their target, It was crazy back then.
Bro, I've seen situations where I've had friends. Hell, I got a really best friend, like my homie, that I like, someone I grew up with. And or I ain't gonna say his name 'cause I know he's probably watching, but I had a homie where like his moms would kind of treat him like shit. Would kind of like treat like the other kids, around them, like their golden childs whatsoever. Which we'll get to that later, which probably explain why my best friend loved my dad so much. Um, but I've seen that situation. I've seen crackheads, like being careless with their child. Like I've seen situations where dudes are reckless and they have a son at a young age, like this movie's almost 30 years old and it still ages beautifully,
And think of the themes like back then. I know we discussed that in some of the movies like these over these past couple years, but think of the themes that went on like at this time that you don't really see anymore. Like remember the commercials like join the army, be all that you can be. Like really markets it into this high school seniors that ain't got no plans. Like, bro, you ain't going to college, you ain't going out of town, you not got no trade school career, none of that stuff. It's like just go join the army. Like that was really prevalent back then, and also like the conversation about condoms. Just the introduction, like, hey, if you gonna be having sex, at least strap up. And you always heard it's like, at least you got a rubber. It's like, if you and her kissing, that's how y'all got that baby in the first place. Should have used protection. And then Furious Stops like, bro, just because she on the pill don't mean your ding can't fall off.
Bro, Quez, I had that conversation. Not the whole, my dick falling off, but I had that conversation with my dad, bro, when he would ask me, bro, you got some pussy yet, bro? Like, I had that conversation with my dad, bro. Like, it's a trip when you watch these movies when you older, and you're like, that shit, that happened to me. But
and when was the last time you seen niggas drinking 40s these days?
Oh shit! Last time I seen somebody drink a 40 was like shit. I'm surprised they still selling them in liquor stores, bro. Because I don't see nobody drink them no more.
Like you gotta see like a real old head, like you just see him out in the street,
real old person,
right? You see him with an old E or something.
Yeah, somebody that's like 60 years old or some shit.
Drinking an OD, bro, or falling house or the Cobras.
Well, one time, I had an uncle when I was living in Chicago, bro. I had an uncle. This was like during the time, because when they were like, everybody be at the house, chilling out whatsoever. And then my uncle, like, hey, little man, well, I asked, like, what is that? It was a 40 whatsoever. And I'm like 6 whatsoever. He's like, man, boy, you don't know nothing about this. And I was like, me trying to act like no growing, but let me try it. And then he was like, and then his my other uncle was like, oh man, let him try it whatsoever. Man, I had a little sip of that shit, bro. Man, I felt like my insides about to come out, bro. That shit almost was nasty as fuck.
Like, how y'all can be drinking this stuff?
Yeah, exactly. How can you be drinking? Not just drinking it, but chugging the shit. Like, oh man, but
those were the times, dude.
It was. It absolutely was, man.
And the thing, it just seems like even at those times, it was just like, yeah, granted, a lot of stuff went down, but that was just the norm of what it was, and it was kind of like, I don't want to say peaceful, but it was just the norm. Like nothing. It was too
normal.
Much was going on.
It was normal. Yes. It was normal, and Quez, what can you say the impact of this movie caused, not just for black cinema, but putting a spotlight on from an actual black man's perspective from John Singleton. 'Cause I think John Singleton is from he's from Los Angeles. So from a black man's perspective on how things go in the hood, what can you say was the cultural impact of this movie just all around?
I would say the cultural impact is just it gives society another lens of this is everywhere. Like they put a microscope under what's going on legit in the hood and actual areas where they actually filmed at and things of that nature. And we discussed briefly with Ice Cube and his background going through with NWA. They were the group that really helped put the shadow of what's going on in the streets of Compton, Crenshaw, all through the hoods of Los Angeles, you know, and put it on a national stage and help highlight other groups and other communities and other cities, showing like, okay, this is what it's like here in Detroit. This is what it looks like here in Memphis. This is what it looks like here in Houston. You start seeing that prevalent more and more. There's like hoods everywhere. And like this is a struggle that we got going on with for whatever reason, like blaming the government, blaming the opportunities that's not being there, blaming the impoverished community and stuff like that, the lack of job opportunities, what's being dumped in our community. This is just what we do and how we act because this is what we've been conditioned to act and what we've been told how we're supposed to be acting, you know? And like I said, it's credit to John Singleton and everybody involved. They're doing a great job to highlight what really goes on in this. Granted, it's a movie, it's a dramatization, but you see how it's been prevalent and been influenced over the years and see how this stuff like this is still continuing the cycle instead of like people just being like, okay, we need to do something in these communities so we can stop killing each other. Granted, like in a scene where we're going to talk about what Fear's Styles talk about, like gentrification, where people come in and buy out the neighborhoods, you know, at low prices because they drive everybody out. And then they just raise their property up and just force all the people that's in the community out, you know? It's a repeated cycle everywhere, man.
Yeah, a la Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, oh, most definitely, yes. and to some extent right now, even Detroit.
Yeah.
So a lot of cultural impacts really been happening, and you can say it goes through to the music and to video games. Hell, you can say you can even say like without Boyz in the Hood, we would not have Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, you could. You honestly could.
And real quick, I want to address the chat real fast. Well, shout out to the chat. You guys are tuning in tonight. Appreciate your love. Appreciate your support tuning in. Just want to get some of these questions out the way that they asked. Henny Powers asked, would you consider this to be John Singleton's best movie?
Ooh. I can't think.
Most impactful, yes. Because
I
of
would
how
say
it
yes.
stands the test of time and how it stands the test of time and the story that it told. On top of the fact that he literally put this whole cast and everybody on with this movie and the story that everybody told. Now, granted, Singleton's got a catalog. You can't neglect, Baby Boy, Four Brothers. He directed the second Fast and Furious movie, which is ideally a lot of people say that's the best Fast and Furious. So we're going to keep it a stack.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a lot, man. But notably wise, you would have to say it would be Boyz in the Hood as probably the best movie directed.
Yeah, it's I could definitely say Boyz in the Hood is definitely his best film. For sure.
And Henny Power said R.I.P. Jerry Curls. Which
Oh,
got a point.
I'm shit. I'm glad them shits is gone. But
think of how many couches got destroyed by Jerry Curls, bro.
Because of them, bro. But the movie starts with 10-year-old Trey Styles in 1984. And you already get the idea that this kid, Like, he's not your regular, like, hood kid. He's actually got some smarts to him. You know what I'm saying? Like when, like when they go see the dead body, he knows how to detect the blood from the plasma and all that stuff. Like the kid got to, he's not, he's one step ahead of all the rest of the kids, in
That's some
in
shit that only
Inglewood.
your father would teach you.
Exactly. And so much so, we get to a scene with this very racist teachers teaching the class about the history of Thanksgiving, and Trey, who's again one step ahead of the rest of everybody. Look, we all know the story about Thanksgiving, and we grew up with the whole sensationalized, we are the royal kumbaya version. We know damn well that's not how Thanksgiving went down, and Trey already knew this. That's why he wasn't paying attention. And I could, again, we usually do this, but but she tried to embarrass Trey by, like, why don't you come here yourself and teach the class? And he taught the class. He talked about the origins of Africa whatsoever. And then we get a kid, the same kid that he went to school with. Same kid he's cool with. Is like playing with him. He's basically saying pretty much saying that we all come from Africa. Africa is where the original man originated from, and we all from Africa. Everybody in here is from Africa. Like, I'm from Africa. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia, and you kind of get a glimpse. You get a glimpse of what Trey was going to be if he didn't have a daddy. If he didn't have Lawrence Fishburne as his dad, because you kind of see how quick to violence that he is. Where he said, he said, "Punk, I'll kick your ass." and then I've seen this situation when I went to school in Chicago, bro. Like when arguments happen, we always talk about bringing our older relative to do something to him. Like I'll get my brother to shoot you in the face. Well, I'll get my daddy. At least I got one, motherfucker. Like I remember seeing that when I was a little kid. And who was the first one to throw the punch? Not the punch. He threw the stick. It was Trey. So Trey gets in trouble, and then a great example of accountability here. First, I want to say, Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne's relationship, their co-parenting styles here is beautiful. I wish more parents could cooperate and work together like this, like how Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett do in this movie. Because Trey signed a contract, said if I get in any more trouble at school, I'm going to live with my father. And that right there is a first example of some structure and accountability that will later be instilled into Trey that will help him later on in his life.
Because you heard what his mom said when she dropped him off?
What was that?
Say you hear, because takes a man to raise a boy.
Takes a man to raise a boy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's like, why are you making this so easy? Because, like you said, I can't teach him to be a man. That's your job. And
he was like, got that right, woman.
Oh shit.
You could tell he was smirking on the inside when she said that, because there was some stuff before that she was like, I can raise him too, probably better than you. And then you realize, when boys get older and they know how the presence of a father around, and anytime father be around, it's like, okay, he straightens up. It's like, yo, maybe you need to be around him, especially when they get older. And sure enough, Trey turned 11, started fighting more. It's like, you know what, maybe you do need to be with your dad, because I can't put up with this no more.
And by the way, I loved the phone conversation. with the teacher kind of making these vague, smart ass remarks, like, does Trey, are you educated, by any chance? He's like, yes, I am educated. In fact, I'm starting to get my master's. And I love what Angela Bassett said. So actually, Trey ain't gonna be coming to school. He's gonna be moving with his father. And the teacher's like, "Oh, he's got a father?" Like, yes, he's got a father. Or do you think we make babies by ourselves?
She gave me them Miss Morello vibes from Everybody Hates Chris.
I know, right? I know. And I will say this, Quez, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character is Trey. What I love about Trey is that I just love how solid he is, because even though Trey is fundamentally different from, later on Doughboy, Monster, Dookie, Little Chris, who are all gang members, even though he's from a fundamental moral standpoint, he's different, but he doesn't separate himself from them because they all grew up together. You know what I mean? Like, every time when Trey shows up, they always show love to Trey, and Trey always shows love back. You know what I mean? Have you noticed, Trey, all throughout the movie, when Trey goes somewhere, Trey is showing love, and they show love back to Trey?
Mm-hmm.
That just kind of goes to show that Trey, even though he's from a fundamental standpoint, he's different. But he doesn't separate. He understands. He shows love to the hood, and the hood shows love back to him. You know what I mean?
Because he never go around and act like he better than anybody else, especially considering that everybody know who his daddy is.
Exactly, which is funny because notice how the women, like the moms in the hood, was checking out Furious.
Tell him he don't ever come around and play cards no more.
No, he can never play cards no more. Cuba Gooding Jr. saying, hey, Brandi mama said you cute. Well, yeah, how come she don't say hi? How come she don't say no when I say hi? But here's the thing.
And then Paul's like, she could have been something cool if she ain't talk so damn much.
She could have had a chance if she didn't talk so much. And then as we see the movie, we see why. She's a woman scorned, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But Quez, why do you think that is? Why do you think? Because I know you think about stuff like this. Because why is it? Do you think that? Because from what it sounds like, Furious, would come over and hang out with everybody, but later he kind of distanced himself. Why do you think that is?
Well, the saying, you're a product of your own environment. Furious says, screw that. You gotta think about it. Like, when you come up in the hood, when you grow up, you kind of see, like, you kind of know and realize those people that's like, they don't let their environment define who they are and leave them stagnant. Furious was the one, he came up in that environment, and he's still in that environment. But the difference between him and everybody else that's sitting around there, Furious got his own business. Furious is making his own money. He got his own house, stacking up, making it happen, while everybody else appears to be stagnant, complaining about the same stuff they still complain about every single day, every single week, complaining about issues and problems, and contributing to what's wrong with the hood when he's out here informing, educating everybody, trying to make things better. His job's literally trying to get people money to get them housing and try to stay in the hood and try to influence these young men. Like, remember the beginning of the scene where Trey got dropped off? He had the little homies at the house, like, doing gardening work for him, and he was going to pay him.
Thank you. I'm glad. Oh, I was about to make a comment on that. You noticed that too.
Yeah, so he going around and doing that, making a contribution to people that's there, like trying to make it better. And if he's around people that's not making it better and making it worse and just being ignorant with it, he's not going to want to be around.
And that's another thing. Like, my dad kind of used to be the same way. Like, when my dad would realize that that you ain't on shit, he's not gonna really fuck with you. You know what I mean? And like,
Exactly.
I mean, hell, hell. He didn't even show up to the barbecue. He didn't even show up to the. He didn't show up to the party, but he ate the barbecue though.
No
But
swine
that's
though.
normal, but that's normal though because Quez, you know, like when you get a plate sent for you, it's kind of disrespectful if you don't eat the plate. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Just make sure like, it ain't got no swine to it. No, of course not. And she still knows a way around a barbecue though.
Like there you go, like there you go. And I'm glad you mentioned that because about what him because I believe that with Doughboy, because he said when you found the Doughboy little Chris, who they were talking to? They were talking to Furious, you know, trying to convince him to rake to rake the leaves, you know, off the lawn. And it kind of goes back to my best friend, you know, who, you know, kind of was like, you know, he wasn't like a hood dude, but he was like, you know, kind of like on the, you know, he was kind of like on the
Affiliated.
Affiliated, you know what I'm saying? But he always had respect for my father, right? And so, like one time, I'll never forget this. Like one time, right? I was getting ready for school, and then he came over because we used to go ride together to high school, and then he would come in whatsoever, right? And then while I'm getting ready for school, I could hear my dad talking to my father. My dad talking to my father, talking to my friend, asking like, "Yo, hey, you know, hey, what's up, man? Hey, you staying out of trouble whatsoever?" Well, you know, I'm just doing my best, you know. Hey, yeah, have you thought about going to college, man? And he's like, "Oh, well, you know, maybe, you know, it's community college, you know." Yeah, but you a junior though. Like you still got time to get your grades up, you know. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, I know, Mr. Timms, I know. And then when we would leave, you know, he would tell me like, damn man, like damn, your pops, man, he always on me. He be on because my pops be on his ass. Fast forward to 2013, 2014, right? Out of high school. My dad would tell me that, hey, you know, such and such, such and such, you know, has been coming over and talking to me lately, right? And I'd be like, really? And I would like text like, yo, man, you used to hate, you know, used to couldn't wait to get out my house still talking to my dad. Turned like he was coming to him asking for advice, you know, about, you know, like putting resumes together and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Cause like, you know what I mean, Quez? Like he would later come to him for advice, like, hey man, I'm trying to get a job. Like, how can I approach it whatsoever? See, that's why having a strong father figure can go a long way. Even if it's not your child, just having a proper guidance can lead a long way.
Model.
A positive male role model, right? You know, because a lot of these kids out here don't have that, and they want to be seen. Like they don't have that love in the household like that. That's why a lot of them turn into gangs. That's why a lot of them turn to a life of crime because they feel like because the only time they.
Because they got vengeful, bitter mothers at the house. When they look at their child's face, they see their daddy face, like how Doughboy's mama seen him. Like every time she look at you, you look more like your daddy. And she grows and continues to resent him because of who his dad is and how she got with them and whatever he did her wrong with. And a lot of people in the hood, those kids deal with that even to this day. I experienced that with some people, some of the youngsters I work with, saying their mom be having issues with them and be wanting to punch them because like, every time they get mad at them, they see their dad. And they don't get that genuine conditional love from them. And they don't get that love from the house, and they daddy ain't there. They go to the streets.
Exactly. And funny enough, like when my dad, you know, passed away. When my dad passed away, who was the first there at the funeral? It was my friend. You know what I'm saying? So it was nice to know that my dad had some influence, but not just influence like to he was trying to be influenced all of my other friends, around me, like every time, they would come over, they'd be like, hey man, staying out of trouble, whatsoever, and all that. So just small stuff, you know what I mean? And it just kind of goes to show before Trey came along, he was trying to do that for Doughboy and for Lil Chris and maybe Ricky. And there's a scene, Quez, I don't know if you've seen this deleted scene, but it was right after Ricky gets killed. And Lawrence Fishburne's outside, right? And then Ice Cube is walking up to him. He's trying to get the Trey. They have like a little wrestling match on the front porch. They're like, hey Darren, like, Trey can't see you right now. He was like, like where's Trey? I need to talk to Trey. And he's like, Darren, listen, you need to go home, and he can't see you right now. And then Ice Cube's just kind of like just huffing and puffing whatsoever because his brother's gone. His brother's died, and he can't get to his other brother. So he's like huffing and puffing whatsoever. And then he's like, you're like, this is what they have you ever seen that scene, Quez?
I have not.
Oh, it's one of the best scenes in the book. I wish they kept it in the film. That's what led to Cuba going out the window to get into Doughboy's car. Like that's why that scene was a little choppy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was saying like, okay, how you just end up just going into the car like that?
Yeah, because
I watched it back earlier this afternoon. And I was watching it. I was like, okay, they just cut up to a car with no explanation.
yeah, because right before that, they had that conversation on the front porch, and then maybe if Furious kind of, it would be interesting how things would have ended up if Furious, like, just one random day would just go up to Doughboy, and say like, hey Darren, like come on, I want to talk to you. Like, well, what's up, man? It's Trey. No, Trey ain't here. He at the mall. No, come on to the back porch. I want to talk to you. And you have like a conversation with Doughboy, because Doughboy, he said at the beginning of the film, like, I'm trying to stay out of jail this time, right? And then we learn as the film goes, Doughboy's smart. He's low key intelligent, damn near. And it would have been interesting to see how fierce influence he got on Trey could have gotten to Doughboy. You know what you get what I'm trying to say, Quez?
Yeah.
And here's what I'm gonna say too, really quick. If Doughboy doesn't die, Doughboy graduates high school and he becomes a 5-year senior in higher learning.
You right.
Because the Fudge character, higher learner, and Doughboy is pretty much the same damn character.
Man.
See? Yeah, you see, yeah, I know my movies, man. But as for Trey, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, how did you feel about Cuba Gooding Jr. and Trey as a character?
I mean, credit to Cuba Gooding Jr. for playing that role pretty well. The character Trey, yeah, I feel like it was necessary for the movie because he was that, like how you put it, like that in between character, like that kid that was from the hood, but not hood, but he didn't disclaim or never demean where he came from, And he was that guy that was just he was just that dude that was there he just happened everybody to be cool with mostly. It's just that one guy's like nobody really got no problems with. Everybody got love for him, most of them, and just that guy. He's just the guy. He's just that dude, man. He's like a dude that's just like homies with the best football player on the team. He cool with everybody else affiliated with the his brother's gang and stuff like that. So and and I feel like his character was also necessary too because his character was told through the story point with Furious and how his come up was and how he's raising his son to make sure that he has a better opportunity in life. You know, so I feel like I feel like I feel like Cuba Gooding's character Trey is very prevalent and necessary for this movie because it also tells that story of a guy that's not a banger. The guy don't want to be in no gang. He just want to kick it with the girls, hang out with the fellas, kick it in the hood, and then just try to make sure he lives. And he doesn't become a statistic.
You know
That's
what
all
Trey
he wants
is?
to do is what he tried to do.
You know what Trey is, Quez?
What?
He's a good kid in the Mad City.
I'm trying not to. I don't want to agree to that. I don't want to agree to that. No. No. You got me fucked up. Because first of all, I'm not calling Nia Long Sheree. I'm not. I mean, the parallels are there. The parallels are there. I'm not calling Nia Long Sheree. Kendrick had both parents, and his parents were together.
And you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm already on a roll. Doughboy is a boy in the hood, but he's not a menace to society like dog.
Let's put it like this. Since you want to make that comparison, he's not a menace like dog. Doughboy for Ricky's death is dog for Harold's death.
Yeah, but you could tell, in that moment that was the first time Doughboy killed somebody. You could tell. You could tell he's been killing way before the Harold situation. Hell, in the first scene, he killed somebody.
Yeah.
Doughboy, that was his first time. Like that was his first time actually taking somebody's life.
But still in the purpose of like getting back because you got mines. Eye for an eye mindset. You took mines, I'm gonna take yours. But back to your original point of Trey being a good kid in a mad city, you can't make that parallel low key, even though I refuse to admit it. But you know, we'll just rock with it. We gonna rock with it. We gonna rock with it.
And I loved how, one of my favorite things, one of my favorite quotes was when again, even the hoods respected Trey when Trey was like, yeah, I work at the mall, I got these new clothes, man, you like? And what Ice Cube say, he's like, nigga, you look like you sell rocks, which pretty much means that
I still
you
bust
look
out
fly.
laughing every time I hear that line, though.
yeah. But that's a compliment, though. He's pretty much telling them, like, yeah, you look cool, you look fly, I see you shining. You know, like that's a compliment, though.
And also, Trey don't never act out of character.
No, never.
He just stays the same old smart, goofy self.
But like I said, though, there are those moments when, because like I said, Trey was gonna be a monster, bro. If Fierce was not, because Trey could have been them. He could have been on that stoop with Dookie and Monster and all them.
Had the anger issues.
He had the anger. Hell, you saw it when he was swinging, like that was like the inner rage and trade that he's kind of kept under wraps.
Yeah, you
But
can tell he ain't fought nobody in a long time because every time he threw those punches, it was like he was gonna tear his rotator cuff. He was just swinging the punches.
like, come on, you motherfuckers! How'd you feel about Lawrence Fishburne as Fury Styles? Fantastic. One of my favorite roles of Lawrence Fishburne.
One of his
You
best
bought
roles.
him. You bought him as a hard but loving father. Like I said, I've said my dad was Furious Styles, bro. Like, cause it's funny enough because me, you, Quez, and shout out to Henny, we kind of got into a conversation in the Discord about we all remember the classic of Total Divas or was it Total Bellas when John C was kind of going through the house rules of like, listen, if you're gonna be in my house, so these are the rules of my house. And I was saying that when I was younger, when I was in my early 20s, I'm like, yo, Cena, you a weirdo for that, man. But now that I'm older, and I got a place of my own, I'm like, I get it. Like, yo, if you're gonna be in my house, because I don't bring people to my house. Like, if you're gonna be in my house, like, yo, keep my house clean. Like clean up after yourself. Don't leave no rags on the floor, whatsoever. Like, I respect Cena. So when the first thing that Furious does is have Trey rake the leaves, like the second Trey's mama leaves, he's right to it. And what does Furious say to him? He's like, yo, man, you may think I'm being hard on you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to teach you how to be responsible, right? And you say your little friends, they don't have nobody else that can teach them that. You're gonna see where they end up too. So
And then he
lo
asked
and
him, like, if I'm over here raking the leaves and cleaning the tub, what you gonna be doing?
and again, just like my father, because my father used to say the same thing to me. He said, listen, my main goal is to pay the bills, put food on the table, and put clothes on your back. Like that's all I gotta worry about, right? Don't say that again, or don't say that again, I'll bust your mouth. But but yeah, because look, with my dad, I was pretty much the maid at my house. Like my dad, he always made me, especially on the weekends. He always like had me clean up my room, deep clean my room, clean the tub. I mowed the lawn a couple times. Like teaching me structure, teaching me responsibility. Always making sure I look nice and tidy before I go outside. Make sure my shoes are tied, my shoes are clean whatsoever. Just structure. You know what I'm saying? And I thought Lawrence Fishburne was a great father, and teaching him the importance of using condoms, teaching him the importance of, having the sex conversation, or teaching him how to look a man in the eye when you shake their hand or whatsoever. Like very strong fundamentals to put in an impressionable young kid. I thought
Thought
Lawrence
about
Fishburne
what
was
he
great.
did for a job.
Exactly. Like one of my favorite roles of Lawrence Fishburne, and I think one of the best movie fathers of all time, Furious Styles. Because what do you think about Lawrence Fishburne and his performance?
I may be wrong, but I know I'm right. I shouldn't say this. Where was Furious with Montana?
Man, stop it.
I'm just saying. If you
Stop
know,
it.
you know.
Stop it. Stop it.
I mean, anyway, I agree. Lawrence Fishburne as Furious Styles, great movie father, the epitome of a father always being in his son's life, whether the parents was together or not, but always made it prevalent to know that Trey could always come around and always made himself available to be there on weekends so he could come over and to even take over when moms couldn't raise him no more. And he took that challenge full force, head on, out the box immediately. Tell him out the gates, these are your expectations when you're living here. You don't need, and there was this one conversation when they went out fishing. Ironically, at the same time where Chris and Doughboy was talking about they was gonna go hit up the liquor store, and he pointed out, Fierce Styles pointed out, like, hey, if you need something, ask, so you won't have to steal. Coincidentally, next scene, Chris and Doughboy got pinched by the feds, by the cops, because of robbing the liquor store, robbing the corner store.
And speaking of the fishing trip, it was very subtle, but I just love the fact that when they were about to go visit, I think it was Lil Chris. It was when him, Ricky, Dope about to go see Lil Chris. What did Trey say? Yeah, I can't, man, I can't stay long, man, because my dad said I gotta go fishing with him. Like there you go, like stuff like that. They said it was working with Trey, being responsible. Yeah.
They went to go meet up with Lil Chris so they could go see the body. But yeah, Fierce was teaching. Any point in the season, was teaching about life. It's just like subtle stuff going on in the movie. Like even when he would sit down in the chair, or he asked Furious to cut his hair, it's like casual father-son type body type thing. Your dad sits you down, you guys talk as he cuts your hair. It's like, Dad, can you give me a Phantom top? All right, sure. And what's going on with you? Hey, man, you out there smashing yet? And he told that line story, talking about, man, I ain't no virgin. This what happened with such and such. But it's just those moments where you just had those encounters with your dad, and Furious, like I said, just always made himself available for Trey and taught him things, showed him where he should be doing, and it kept him safe. Epitome. And he wasn't dumb. He encouraged Trey to be learning. He encouraged Trey to want something new. Did you ever see his room, James? If you ever looked at his room, you can see like he didn't have like no regular room. Like he had music in the room. He had a big desk where he could do art and stuff in there. Like you could tell, like he would encourage his son like to try different matters and try different things in the arts.
Yep.
Because some of that stuff can help with his anger issues. Fierce was really tapped into stuff like that.
And what I really loved, and what also I really loved and respected, just how cool and poised that he was. Like one of my favorite scenes is when him and Angela Bassett, which by the way, the chemistry between those two, I could see why they came back together for What's Love Gotta Do, because they have great chemistry and back and forth with each other. There's a reason why Lawrence Fishburne turned down the role of Ike Turner till he learned that Angela Bassett was going to play Tina, and he was like, "Well, fuck, I guess I got to do it now." True story. But like in the scene in the cafe, when she was like, "Man, go sit your ass down before I raise my voice, so make a fool out of all of us." As an alpha male that Furious is, he's like, "All right, cool, I'll hear you out." Any normal dude would be like, "Man, fuck you, I'm out of here." But not Furious. He was like, "All right, cool, I'll hear you out."
Like he was just always cool, calm, and collected, especially in front of Trey to let him know like everything was gonna be okay. Like in the beginning of the movie, like when Furious heard some noise at the front door, he just said, "All right, cool, let me get my gun, let me load it. I'm aim it at the door, and I'm gonna fire at him." And then when Trey came out, I said, "Everything okay?" He's like, "Everything's fine." He lucky, God must be looking out for him that day. "You should have smoked him, Dad." He's like, no, don't say that. So yeah, he wasn't even going to move like, anybody else to talk about like, "Oh, somebody break into my house, bro. I'm putting one in between the eyes. I'm gonna kill him." I'm gonna take them out. I protect my family. Furious never glorified murder in front of Trey at all, because that's how he was always accustomed to hearing stories about what he would be seeing and what others see. Furious never glorified murder. He would always glorify protecting the family. He would always glorify like protecting Trey by any means, regardless. Not even so much as like, man, I smoked that food. You see me? And even when the feds pulled up, he recognized like, yo, y'all pulled up like 30 minutes afterwards. And then he was still keeping his cool with the cops, even though the black cop was being a complete clown to him. And
when I saw that,
disappointment.
when I saw that black cop act the way he was acting, the first thing I thought of was Ice Cube, fuck the police. Well, what was the line he said? He said, you know, black cop showing out for the white cop.
And again, another teaser. Another integration to the movie that, of course, Cube probably had influence on. So, which doesn't go without saying, like how much of a team and a partnership Singleton and Cube always had. But yeah, Furious, quality movie character, father. Salute to him. And salute to Lawrence Fishburne for playing the heck out of that role.
And while we're at it, salute to, Angela Bassett. And her, she's not in the movie much, but and by the way, just really quickly, Ice Cube, Angela Bassett, Regina King, Nia Long are fucking vampires. They haven't aged at all, bro. They still look exactly the same, bro.
You said Ice Cube. You said Ice Cube, Angela, Nia, and who?
Regina.
Oh yeah.
They still look exactly the same. Black don't crack, man.
Hey, speaking of Regina, you could put Regina King, and you could even add Regina Hall to that list.
Yes, you could. She can still play Brenda from a Scary Movie today. Regina King can still play this character now if they did Boyz in the Hood now. Can we talk about how much Doughboy loved Ricky? He loved his brother, bro. And Ice Cube plays this role so interesting. First of all, Ice Cube is at this point 91. He's still very much Ice Cube. Rebel against authority, against anti-establishment Ice Cube. He's still very much Ice Cube in this film. But it wasn't until I watched this movie again how layered the Doughboy character, how Ice Cube played him was. Again, he's still Ice Cube, but Doughboy, one, he's not dumb. He has some sense of information. Limited, but some sense of information. Like when he got out the pen, he said all he was doing was pumping iron and reading. And then Miles was like, read? You're like, yeah, fool. I ain't no criminal, motherfucker. I can read.
That's another thing back in the 90s they used to push heavy for people to do, read.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even convicts picked up a encyclopedia from time to time to read in there.
Exactly. Like the scene when... What I loved about Doughboy's character was his street smarts was top tier. He was always understanding the moment, always understanding the situation. For example, like when him and his crew are in the house, right? And even though his mom's been treating him like shit, he's still in his own Ice Cube way, but he's still respecting his mother's wishes. Like, hey man, stop cussing so motherfucking loud, man. My mom don't like that shit. Hey man, move the plastic when you're sitting on the good part. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, that's my brother. He live here. Hey, yo, Rick, the man's here to see you. You know, like he's like that scene was very important because he was not trying to fuck up the appointment with the recruiter for Rick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where he was like, man, shut up, man. Can't you see the man here on business? You know, like Ice Cube played this role so good. Like I didn't realize how layered his character was.
Bro, he had to tell dude he was gonna pull a cane and push that dude with a wheelchair put down the stairs.
oh yeah. What he said? Because he said, what he said? He said, oh yeah, I know where you can beat all the women at church. But you ain't gonna meet no. You ain't gonna go. You don't go to church see no bitch. I should wheel your ass off this phone for saying that dumb shit.
He's gonna be Zack Ryder in a minute, bro.
but like the scene with the football. Like what did Doughboy tell Ricky? He's like, man, don't bring that ball with you, because he knew what was going to happen. And Ricky, being not street smart, still brought the ball with him. And then Sharif, before he became a Muslim, took the ball. And and
that was Sharif.
That was Sharif,
That was.
And then what did Doe do? He even though Doe knew he was gonna get his ass whooped, he still fought to get his brother's ball back. And Doughboy was never a hater to Ricky. He always loved to protect his brother. What the first thing that he does when Ferris bumped into him, and again, that was a very important scene because when they bumped into him, Ricky approaches this shit like it's gonna be like a regular high school fight. Normally, like I push you, you push me, and we scrap. That ain't gonna happen like that. Doughboy, understanding the moment, one, he immediately jumps to defend Ricky. And he's the first one to pull the Flash's piece. And then they'll pull it out. You ever got a problem, nigga? This shit was so funny. Like the one chick that says the smartest thing says the smartest thing. He's like, can we have a night where nobody got to get shot? Man, shut up, bitch. Oh man, sometimes I miss that version of Ice Cube, man. But
he was giving all them girls. He was giving all them women the business.
He was, but notice he never called Nia Long a bitch. He never called Nia Long a bitch. Regina King, on the other hand, yeah, because you gotta think about this. Regina King was fucking funny in this. He said, why guy gotta be a he? He could be a she. You don't know that. And why gotta we talk about a female? They gotta be a bitch or a hoe or a hoochie because that's what you are. Nigga, fuck you. Because
it is not given enough credit about Regina King's timing.
Oh, bro, not at all. But here's the thing. But I mean, what I'm gonna say may be blasphemy, crazy, but not all black women are queens, bro. There are some women that are bitches and hoes. Like, what's the first thing Regina King tries to do? Like, she tried to go at Trey, even though Trey has a girlfriend, and then Nia Long
straight to Nia Long's character.
Right, and then she's like I'm scout. Well, you better watch his ass. Girl, do we got a girlfriend? And that laugh is iconic.
That's okay. I'm gonna try with that dude with the busted fade in a couple years.
Oh yeah, you're right. She's pretty much the same character, Poetic Justice.
Yes. Same hair too.
Same exact hair. But yeah. So when Ice Cube say, because that's what you are, you're kind of like, It's kind of true.
No, bro, when it was at the barbecue, it was like, hey, when Trey was like, hey, where all these women out here? We gotta let them eat first. Take the initiative. And go back to your point about Doughboy was going for Trey. It's like, hey, Trey's right, y'all. But he had to put his own spin on it. It's like, hey, yo, Trey right, though. Let the hoes eat first. And old girl said, excuse me, I know. Okay, my bad. Let the bitch eat first.
Oh shit!
Ice Cube was cold, bro.
Bro. But yeah, but I just love Ice Cube's portrayal as Doughboy, how layered the character was, and even and bro and the scene at the end, after all that shit that happens, what is the first thing that he does after Ricky gets killed? He goes, he turns on the news to see if they're talking about his brother. Even in Ricky's death, Doughboy's looking out for his brother. And that's why you get, like all this shit about, what going on in foreign countries whatsoever, but nothing on my brother. And so I really enjoyed Ice Cube's portrayal, how he portrayed Doughboy. It's a great performance, and I just love Ice Cube in this movie. What are your thoughts on Ice Cube as Doughboy, Quez?
Well, Ice Cube generally, like in some of his early roles on, he always played characters that he always incorporated to make sure they had some level of conscience with them, And Doughboy was no different. Like, yeah, he was a street dude, but it was also prevalent to like he wasn't no dummy. Emphasized that he read, emphasized that he knew about his surroundings, emphasized the fact that he knew what to do in situations and always looked out for anybody that he rocked with, especially in matters like Ricky and Trey. As much as he liked to joke around with him, he would play like the tough love big brother on Ricky sometimes because he needed it. It was just ultimately at the end he knew that I'm probably like the best form of support Ricky's really has. Outside of me, he ain't really got nobody. Mom ain't doing much for him. She just like cheerleading for him. His baby mom is just like, okay, yeah, she there, but that's it. He still need to grow up, and I'm still gonna play that father figure for him as my little brother. So that's what Doughboy does. And even like, hey, if you cool with my brother, you cool with me, which is a sense of like he looked at Trey as his little brother too, and he's looking for his other brother Trey when Ricky gets shot, and apparently that scene you talk about like Fierce ain't gonna let him see him because like, bro, my brother's gone. I need my other brother at this time, bro. This stuff is hard, and he couldn't get to him.
And really quickly to bounce back off that, but notice how Furious let Nia Long go see Trey, because that's the type of energy that Trey needs in that situation. Not the devil. I mean, not to say Doughboy's the devil, but he don't need that devil. He needs that loving energy from his girlfriend instead of Doughboy.
Exactly. Yep. And it does make sense because Fierce even knew that Doughboy was on that type of time. He knew he had to go around and spin a block and get the get back, especially how his mom blamed him for Ricky's death. He felt like that's what he needed to do to make everything square, make everything even. And he knew he had to get Trey involved because I always thought something told me Doughboy went to go see Trey because I feel like he was looking for Trey to try to get him to change his mind. He was going to look for Trey to tell him, don't do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would have just went out and did it anyway. He knew, like, if he brought Trey along, he was not going to have Trey be the shooter. He didn't want to just bring Trey along just to go around and watch. He was trying to get him to change his mind. That's what I always thought. But Trey just hulked up and just like went with him on the stuff, with him on the mission. So Trey's like, no, let me out. I can't do this no more. And at Doughboy's point, he already went too far to turn back. So,
but notice how. Oh, and that scene is so good. Like, notice how Doughboy respects Trey's command to stop the car, lets him out without saying a word. Even Monster lets him out, don't even look back at him. Nothing needs to be said at that moment. That just kind of goes show that kind of, and then that's when Doughboy later says, like, "Look, man, I understand why you got out, baby. You had no business. You had no business riding with us anyway."
Exactly. And again, this goes to the point of like the Doughboy looking out for his brother's best friend, like how he always has. So yeah, credit to Ice Cube for playing the heck out of this role. Grant with his first role, and yeah, you can see elements of Ice Cube prevalent in this character in this scene, which makes it a little bit more accommodating and easier for him. Which again, salute to John Singleton for accommodating with Cube and his limited range at the time, but also steering that to make it a believable character.
Yeah, pretty much letting Ice Cube be him.
Yeah, letting Ice Cube be him and growing with range later on during the course of the movie. And you can see him over the course of the movie. By the time the end, he got a little bit of confidence up where you can see like he was starting to play a role deeper into that character, channeling away from Ice Cube, especially in the deeper scenes towards the end. You know, like grieving Ricky's death. You know, that was getting into his role, into his play and stuff like that. So credit to Ice Cube on that.
And you know what's so funny? When I watched this movie, I love this movie, but damn, I could tell this movie is made in the early '90s, late '80s. Some of the verbiage in this movie you don't hear anymore. Like when Cuba Gooding Jr. say, "Yo, when you gonna let me hit the skins?" Or when Ice Cube
he told
was trying to
Angela
talk.
Bassett when he was gonna hit the skins. That is crazy. Crazy mother.
Oh my god, bro! And then what? The scene when they were trying to holler at the Latina chicks, and I never heard this before, and I never heard it again since. But when he told that one Latina chick, when you gonna let me
Were you gonna let me scramble that McMuffin?
I'm like, I could. There's a certain movies where you're like,
that's always some stuff Ice Cube would say though.
He's like, let me put some stuff in that egg McMuffin. Like, bro, like what? And then what was funny, like even Dookie and Monster was like, shit, that shit worked. And then of course you got the word. Do you still hear people call people Buster or Mark?
People were throwing out that Mark term this weekend after what happened to WWE.
Oh, don't get me started on that, man. That's
don't worry,
this ain't
the channel for it. We good.
Yeah, yeah. This
shout
ain't
out
the
boy Mark too,
though. But yeah, man. And how did you personally feel about Ricky and Doughboy's mother? Now, with me, like I said, I've seen situations like that where the mother favors one son over the other, and it's fucked up. Because who knows how differently Doughboy could have ended up if the love that she showed Ricky, if he gave that equal amount of love to Doughboy, it would have been interesting how differently Doughboy's life could have turned out. I think she was wrong, 100% wrong, how she handled the shit. Because like you said, and I've seen mothers like that where when they have a baby by a man that they can't stand and they take their frustrations out on the kid. But then in her case, she had a good relationship with Ricky's father because they got different fathers. And of course, Ricky has the potential. Ricky is the one that's probably gonna make it out because his shit. Because notice in that scene when notice how in that scene on Crenshaw, when Ferris bumped into Ricky. Notice how not only Doughboy's crew backed up Ricky, but if you look way in the background, the rest of the hood was about to back up Ricky. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, so like, because even the hood knows that we got this one dude that could possibly make it. You know what I mean? Because in Chicago, probably one of the biggest tragic stories in Chicago. You know about the Ben Wilson tragedy, right?
Benji, yeah.
Benji, bro, Benji.
That E60 is still depressing, bro.
Bro, like Ben Wilson. Everybody thought but before LeBron James, the prodigy was Ben Wilson, right? Ben Wilson was a monster, man. He was gonna be somebody, bro. And then of course he got shot for doing some bullshit, and his number one jersey. They always give the number one jersey to the best player. He went to Simeon High School. Simeon High School is literally down the street from my grandmama's house. So the story about Ben Wilson around Southside Chicago is legendary.
That was the same school Derrick Rose ended up going to, right?
Same school Derrick Rose went to. Bro, my cousin used to tell me stories about how, because right by my grandmother's house, it was West Chatham Park. West Chatham Park was literally about like a block away from Simeon. There used to be stories about how Derrick Rose used to bust niggas' asses on that park, after basketball practice or on the weekends whatsoever. But yeah. But back to Ricky and Trey's mama, bro. Ricky was so coddled. He was so coddled and so loved. She allowed the baby and the baby mama to stay with her. Quez, what black mom you know is gonna allow the baby and the baby mama to stay with them?
Grandma, possibly. Not a guarantee, but a grandma, possibly. Mother, it's situational. It'll be situational. It'll have to be the case where the baby mama parents threw her out, don't want nothing to do with her, is stuck on her luck, and mom just happens to take a kin to old girl, and she's like, you know what, you can stay here, and just be stuff like that. But you don't hear a lot of stories like that often. So, especially in the 90s, you definitely didn't hear nothing much like that at all at that time, because that would just be another mouth in the house to feed, two extra mouths to feed in the house, and then moms, like Ricky Mom said, she'd be the one taking care of her and the baby. That's just like a lot of mouths to feed. That's just a lot of attention to go around. Not have space.
And it just goes to show you, if Ricky had a father in the house, he wouldn't have been a teenage daddy.
Furious was a teenage father.
And then what do you try to tell Trey? Which by the way, first of all, just really quickly, Ricky's baby mama, I remember her on Class Act, bro. Bro, how fine she was, bro.
Yes. Yeah.
But her and the chick from Ricky's Dream, bro. Not Ricky's Dream. Trey's Fantasy. The girl in the white. Which, by the way, question, just real quick. Do you think Furious believed Trey's story?
No. It was too much fantasy in that simulation, bro.
Well, I could have bought it. I could have bought it until the part where she said the grandmama smelled the sex in the air.
That was a part of the fantasy I feel like Furious probably just set himself out on. And then he talk about like he had to jump out the window. Like, no.
Okay. Well, Quez, again, parallels. Quez, were you a window hopping dude back in the day?
No.
I did it once. I did it one time, and again, so much parallels. Again, funny story.
I'm not risk injuring my knee just to not get caught. I would rather just take my chances to hit the back door.
Well. It was okay. First off, funny story. Okay, so again, there's so much parallels. One time, I was about 18, right, and I started becoming sexually active. Right now, I never told my parents about this. One time, I messed around, I messed up, and I forgot to take, the condoms that my dad gave me out my pocket, right? One day my mom would go wash my laundry. I never had condoms in my pocket until this one day.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom freaked out. She freaked out. Like, oh my God, my baby's having sex. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing, I was with my dad at the time. She told my dad, and my dad was like, "Oh, don't worry, don't worry. I'll talk to him. And my dad had the biggest smile on his face. he came to my door. He was like, "Hey, I got an conversation with your mama." And he said, "Hey, did you leave a certain thing in your pocket? Because your mom found something in your pocket." And then I was like, "No, what you talking about?" And then he's like, "Boy, what is a condom in your pocket?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" Right? But my dad was cool though. He was like, he was asking me. He was asking, "Hey, look, one." He was like, "One, it's good to know that one, you're protecting yourself." All that stuff, and hey, look, it's cool, it's fine, it's whatever, as long as you're safe, you're responsible, then asked me who the girl was and all that stuff. But I thought it was just so funny how my mom was freaking out when my dad was like, "Hey, he's a teenage boy. Like, it happens. Just relax, calm down."
I feel like there's another underlying thing that goes to a dad's mind. At least like, ooh, my kids. I'm not saying this is for you. I'm just like, ooh, my son ain't gay.
That too. That too. Yeah, like there's that underlying component to it.
By the way, James, check our chat real quick. But yeah, that is crazy.
Hang on.
Like, thankfully, I never had that slip up because that would have been too awkward.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and get some awards. And real quick, anything I say about Trey's Ricky and Doughboy's mom?
Trey, Ricky, you said Trey, Ricky, and Doughboy's mom. You talking about both of them, or did you mean like Ricky and Doughboy's mom in general?
Ricky and Doughboy's mama, yeah.
Ricky and Doughboy's mama, foul. Clear favoritism. Clear taking anger out on Doughboy for no reason. Because granted, if Doughboy just has some love, like Oblivion, shout out to Oblivion in the chat, Doughboy just needs some love too, man. Like, if he just had like a little bit more loving and care and stuff like that, specifically to his mom, who knows what he could have ended up as? He could have been a football player. He could have played basketball, or he could have been a teacher. He could have been a heck of a teacher, just take that focus in the academics. He could have been a whole teacher in the hood, and just been a teacher in the classroom or even a professor if he would just had a support with them. But no, we're just going to turn him into a hood product because moms ain't love him. He ain't nothing. Just like your daddy ain't. Like she literally told him verbatim, like you ain't shit. You ain't gonna be shit because your daddy wasn't that shit. But you still let dad hit it raw. I'm just saying. It ain't his fault. He didn't ask to be here. Just saying.
Hell no. Hell no. And then when she blamed Doughboy for Ricky's death, that shit was the lowest of the low.
And real quick,
Lowest of the
real quick
low.
before you go to the awards, we need to point out your theory of what you said about him before we came on air real quick. If you remember what you said about the dumbest character.
Oh, Ricky, yeah.
So go ahead and tell the people watching what you told me.
Okay, so I think Ricky might be the dumbest character because one, the lack of street smarts. Like, bro, like you from South Central. Even you gotta know your situations. Bro, who was the first person to notice the danger? Trey. Not even Ricky noticed it. You know, and well, first off, Ricky's death could have been avoided, bro, if just small stuff happened. Like if the mailman showed up like 5 minutes earlier before him and Doughboy fought, you know, or maybe if Ricky just told Doughboy, "Hey, Doughboy, can you take me to the studio to get this cornmeal?" instead of trying to errand boy him. That's why Doughboy and him fought, because Doughboy was like, "Yo, boy, like, yo, bro, like, don't errand boy me. Like, I'm your older brother. Show me some respect." You know what I mean? Him stopping the piss. Like, you got niggas coming to get you, bro. But piss on yourself. Deciding to split up, not taking it serious. Oh, the fools ain't gonna do nothing, man. They're just showing out and shit. If Ricky and Trey went the other way, the opposite way where Ricky went, they would have ran into Doughboy, because Doughboy and his crew came from that area. And by the way, Doughboy showing how intelligent he is. The second he saw that red car come down the street, I still get goosebumps on that scene, bro. When the realization hits Doughboy and he goes, "Oh shit, Rick!" Like, well, I still get goosebumps on that scene. And then Ricky gets shot. That iconic close up of Cuba Gooding Jr. going Ricky, and that slow motion shot, and the young dude shot him. Still probably the most saddest death in hood movie history. Yeah, I just thought Ricky's lack of street smarts and lack of self-awareness and not taking the situation serious. But me, you, Quez, we would have understood the situation. We would have understood, no, we can't piss. We can't stop the piss. We can't split up. Like, Ricky didn't understand. That's why I said Ricky was dumb in that situation. So the motherfucker was playing the lottery while niggas was hunting for him in the alley, bro. That's my theory.
I don't know anybody that's in my circle coming up, like any of my homeboys. If I would have stopped to take a piss, they would have waited on me. None of my cousins or my friends would have waited on me. If I'm talking about I'm stopping, I'm taking a piss. If people was after me, they would have straight left my ass. That would have been point blank. And James, you could attest to this, because I feel like you would have been the same had it been you. Like, if your homeboy talk about, "Man, I'm gonna take a piss real quick," like, bro, they after us. Hold on real quick, man. Would you have stayed or would you have dipped?
I probably would have dipped, because I ain't taking no chances. Like I said, like 1 second too late or 1 second too early could be your life.
Exactly. And unfortunately, he stopped doing that. Stopped to go take a piss real quick. And on top of that, he went to go play the lottery, like scratch the lottery, just like casually taking his time. And then he didn't even know that the car was creeping up until Trey shouted his name. Ricky! He turned around and he was like, "Oh." And I get it. And I get this. You're in shock. You're in disarray. You'll be like, "Oh, shoot, they got a gun. I mean, they about to shoot me." Why are you running in a straight line?
Well, Quez, I think I knew you was gonna say that. I think because it went into slow motion, It made it look like Ricky had forever. I think in real time, what happened was Ricky, Trey yelled Ricky. Ricky saw the car. Ricky ran and boom, boom. I think that's the slow motion makes it more dramatic. But I think in real time it was a lot. It was a lot quicker than that. So Ricky didn't have enough time to zigzag.
Like, bro, you got zigzag, bro. Come on, man. Like, that dude had a shotty, man. Like, if he shot once and he missed, bro, that was your chance.
Well, Ricky was already done. The moment he got shot in the leg, right there, he was done. Because now he can't go to the army.
No, I'm saying, like, bro, like, if he would have shot and he would have missed, like, that was your shot to hurry up and hop a gate or something. Like, shit. Like, get out the way, and then Trey still got to run. But at the end of it all, I was like, yep, shot him in the leg. And I was like, you knew, like, after he got hit in the leg, he was done. Because he was not going to be able to move. And that's when he took that second shot. It was like right in his back, but like right through the chest. And it was a wrap for him at that point. Now, when he got shot, and they knew in the alley, it was like, yo, he's dead. He's dead. Personally, me, I would not bring my brother out that alley through the hood back to my house and dump it on my mama's couch for my mama to see. I don't know personally if I could do that. And I don't know why they did, because they knew he was dead. There was no coming back. So I didn't really see the purpose for that. Just go, hey, Mom, here's his body one last time, he's gone. So then you had his baby mama seeing it, his kids seeing it, triggering and traumatizing them.
Ice Cube being the only one with sense, being like, no, the baby should be seeing this. Give me the baby.
And it's like, don't touch him. She was like, his baby mom was like, don't touch him. Don't ever touch him. It's like, yo, you got to get the baby out of here. That's very traumatic and stays with the baby in his memories, dude. Like, come on. You're almost as foolish as Ricky was. Like, and it wasn't even his fault.
Well, she was a
mom's blaming
she was a
for
rat.
everything.
Well, she was a rat at the end of the day, so who cares?
I mean, Ricky still smashed Raw. I mean, shoot.
I mean, I probably would too. She was sexy as hell, bro. That's Trey. They've been fans since they was little. Oh, she was so sexy, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but definitely like top 3 saddest movie deaths of all time. And even in the hood category of movies, like I can't think of a death that's like almost as bad as this one. Outside of not Menace Society, that death was, that death was crazy. But honestly, yeah, I would say probably like Menace Society. That was like a crazy death, even though it did have this ramifications of Ricky's death. Even Menace Society's death was still crazy because like he was almost out of there. Kane was almost out of there. He could have been in Georgia. They would just been a few minutes early. They could have missed it. And you think of dead presidents. Even during that bank robbery scene where a lot of people in their crew didn't make it. And then old boy got ran down by that truck. Shoot, and yeah, a lot, man. But again, dope. Shoot, Boyz in the Hood, that scene, Ricky definitely in the tops of like most traumatics, and yeah, Doughboy really was crushed behind that, and he felt like he had to do something.
And what was so crazy about that, bro? Like, this is how normal the shit was, bro. Them 3 niggas literally just shot someone cold blood. what's the next thing they do? They go to eat a burger and eat like and just chill like nothing happened. And Trey was so comfortable around the shit in the hood, bro. That man got a gun pulled up on him in the middle of the street and didn't even bring it up to his pops, so he brought him home for the barbecue. That's how normal shit was.
You know what's crazy about that whole scene though, right there with Ricky getting shot? And James, you probably know the story. The man that shot Ricky in the movie, he was just an ordinary actor prior to this. After the movie, that dude literally turned into a gang life because he embodied that role. You know how people say like Tupac embraced that gangster role after Juice? That dude really went and did it and embraced in a gang lifestyle, you know, where he got in gang trouble, got involved, jumped into the Bloods and all that, and then he ended up getting killed in a gang shooting.
Yeah, man, he worked himself to a shoot. Worked himself into a shoot, man. But yeah, but let's get into some awards. MVP. Who is the MVP of Boyz in the Hood for you, Quez?
Furious Styles, aka Larry Fitz. I'm gonna say Larry Fitzgerald. Damn. I was trying to say Larry Fishburne. I was about to say Larry Fitzgerald. God
damn.
Even though he's one of my favorite football players of all time, but I digress. Who hates Larry Fitzgerald? Nobody. I say Lawrence Fishburne's the MVP.
And then Quez, I hope me and you are on the same way. Like, I would say Furious Style, Lawrence Fishburne character's MVP too, because if he's not there to be a father to Trey, Trey would have end up as those dudes, and like he would have been a gangster. He would have been a monster. He probably would have been the dude that shot Ricky. You know what I mean? And him and Ricky and Rick Trey making that decision to get out of the car, that brought everything that Trey taught him full circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and another point about Lawrence Fishburne being MVP, I don't know any actor around this time that would have done it well at this job as he would have for this style of movie. Not Denzel, not even Samuel L. Jackson could have pulled this off the way Lawrence Fishburne did. He was perfect for this role.
He was perfect. He was absolutely perfect. LVP. Who's your LVP in this movie?
And we just talked about literally how this was a stat cast and really everybody did their jobs and their roles.
It's tough.
For at least MVP, Morris Chestnut.
Damn, really?
Yes.
Damn. What? Okay.
It's probably somebody else. I just can't think of one right now. But if you want to talk about somebody's character that was like not integral at all to the plot until the ending, and to that shoving match that was about to happen at the on Crenshaw, Ricky wasn't really a focal point of the movie to me.
Ooh.
And Morris Chestnut's acting in this movie.
That's right. No, that's right. Yeah, you don't. I think that you or Mark don't like Morris Chestnut.
No, I don't hate Morris Chestnut. I can just tell, like, yo, this is still like early Morris Chestnut. Like, he's still developing his acting chops. It's not saying he was bad. It was just more so like he didn't stick out. I mean, you got Cuba Gooding right there. You got Lawrence Fishburne right there. You have Angela Bassett in there. You still have Regina King right there with some credibility. Shout out to 227. I mean, like, everybody else around is like still stacked in their own right. Morris Chestnut had a little bit of it, but he just went under the radar low key with his character outside the middle of the movie and then towards the end. That's why I say he would be like my LVP.
Damn. Okay.
Plus he ain't make it. Plus he didn't make it. He died at the end. So, but I don't. But I don't hate. I don't hate Morris Chestnut. You got a better argument saying I hate Tate Diggs more than Morris Chestnut.
Yeah, if those don't know, yeah, Mark can't stand Morris Chestnut at all. For me, my LVP, I probably have to go with the mailman. To me, the mailman was a buster. If that motherfucker showed up literally like 2 minutes early, Ricky would have stopped, see those test scores, and it would have celebrated the fact that he barely made 700, and Ricky would still be alive. And funny enough, the mailman was John Singleton. Yeah, he's the LVP in his own movie, but shit happens.
Message. Keenan Ivory was the mailman, and don't be a mess. Message.
Keenan was a fool for that. Overacting award, I gotta give it to Cuba Gooding Jr. Cool. That scene when he's punching the air, bruh, was a little ridiculous.
Overacting?
Yes. I would have, if I was John Singleton, I probably would have placed like a little wall, an easy wall for him to maybe punch holes into. But him swinging in the air, like when you're a kid, you're like, oh shit, this shit's deep. When you're older, you're like, this shit looks silly. And the way he's acting, like, fuck this shit.
I gotta get you fed up. You got pulled over by the cops or whatever like that. But yeah, that is some overacting, bro. It's just like, like he threw that type of tantrum a kid would throw out there. You got whooped, and they say you go to your room and they take your PlayStation. Like he threw that kind of tantrum, bro. It's like, bro, you a grown man now, dude. You can't be doing this. That scene was ill-advised.
And of course, my favorite part of these reviews is who on the panel would be who.
Oh snap! Yeah.
Okay. I kind of really got to think about this one.
Marlo's the mailman.
Damn. All right, go ahead, Quez.
Cause that's some shit all over dude, bro. Like, hey man, you should have stayed at home.
Oblivious said Mark is Ricky. But I think even Mark will be smart enough to not piss when dudes are looking for him, though.
Why would Mark be Morris Chestnut, though?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Go ahead, fill out your cast, Quez.
MG would be... Ooh, shit. This is tricky.
It is tricky. Yep.
Oh. Who would be Trey? Marcus Trey.
Okay.
I see Marcus Trey. James is Ricky.
Okay. All right.
MG gonna be Ricky. Oh no, James is Ricky. MG is Doughboy. I'm Furious. Shoot. And I said Arl was the mailman.
Arl's the mailman. Okay.
I mean, shoot. I'm thinking like who else could Arlo be?
Well, he could be. I mean, you don't see him as Dookie or Monster. No, I don't see Arlo knowing how to handle AK. Hit the lights, nigga. Dookie. So I don't see Arlo ever letting a dope head suck his dick.
Oh God.
That scene was funny though. When y'all trying to scare me. Yo, for real, you can really catch that shit by having him suck your dick.
No, Arlo ain't Dookie, bro. He ain't Dookie, man.
I mean, I could see Arlo being shit. I think he got no choice but to be the mailman. I think Arlo ain't got no choice.
And Josh is Chris.
Oh, little Chris, that's right.
Josh is little Chris.
Yeah, Josh would definitely be little Chris, dude on the wheelchair.
Yeah.
I could see that. Oh, wait. Could Arlo be Ferris?
Oh, I forgot about Ferris.
The 27-year-old hanging out with the 18-year-old, which that does happen too. That shit is annoying. The old niggas hanging out with the young kids.
No, I'm not gonna put that on Arlo. He the mailman, bro.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, I could definitely see MG being Doughboy. Yeah, Quez, you would definitely would be Furious. I think I would I could see the reason why I could say I could be Trey is because again, like I had a father that's just like Furious Styles, you know what I mean? So like I could definitely see myself as Trey, and I think I could see Mark as Ricky. I'm sorry, I could definitely see a situation where like I'm sorry, I could see Ricky as Mark. Chris as Josh's little Chris is. I don't know why I think that shit's so perfect. It is. I can see Josh saying some shit like, you know, like, yo, where you need to go is the church to get the women. Because what did Trey say at the end? Like, yo, Catholic girls supposed to be the biggest hoochies.
Nia Long wasn't trying to give it up, bro.
Oh, bro. How fine was Nia Long in this movie, bro?
She was cool, but she was better in Friday.
Which was only like 3 years after this.
Yeah.
Oh, and just really quickly. I remember those days. I'm seeing Trey talk to Nia Long on the phone. I remember those days, bro. When you had to call your girl. We had to call the girl you talked to on the landline, and then like, no, this is what I used to do. What I used to do, because you had to go through the mom or the father first before you got to the girl you're trying to talk to. And it will, and this is the trick I would always do. I would always, because it's very disrespectful, hey, hello, Mrs. Anderson, can I speak to Justine whatsoever? Hi, Mr. Hi, Mr. Anderson. I hope you had a good day, Mr. Anderson. How you doing? Hey, is it okay if I can maybe talk to your daughter Justine? Always be cool with the parents. Cause that can give you some extra anytime minutes. That can give you like 10 more minutes with the girl you're trying to talk to.
Oh no, bro! I had them. No, bro. She would have to call me.
but like, cause if you did that, bro, they could be like, girl, who you talking to on the phone? Oh, it's just James. Oh, it's him. Oh, okay, cool. It's like that.
See, we would have to coordinate. Like, we would have to coordinate beforehand. Like, if I seen her like at a summer camp or whatever, if I was in school, it'd be like, all right, call me between 7 and 8 o'clock. That was when my mom was watching Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, and she wouldn't be on the phone like that. Afterward, all bets was off.
Okay, all right. Well, that's just how I did it. I remember them conversations, and like, yeah, James, I saw you. Yeah. Then I saw you on the basketball court. Oh, so you was watching me? Boy, ain't nobody was watching you. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Oh God, I remember those days, man. Fuck, I miss being young.
But we do have to acknowledge though, Trey was simping like a motherfucker.
Well,
he was begging for the coochie though.
Quez, we talk about this almost every movie that we've done. That was the time. That's what dudes did back then, was beg. Because women weren't giving it up like that back in the 90s, bro.
What you mean, bro? Doughboy basically called this girl pussy egg McMuffin and still got smacked.
And also too, speaking of Doughboy, I thought it was funny how Doughboy was pretty much like the night, was like the night watch of the neighborhood. He was like, "Yeah, Trey, I saw you getting out Brandi's house at 2 a.m. Like he don't miss nothing that goes on in that neighborhood, bro. He's always on that stoop, bro."
Doughboy's like that one old lady that stayed across the street from you. They just stay on the porch all day, just watch everybody know everybody business.
Yeah, that was Doughboy. Even when he was
outside,
a kid,
go on the porch like, "Hey, Miss Parker's like, hey, I see who was coming in out your house last night."
Even when he was a kid, bro, he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, man, yo, I heard your dad shot at somebody last night." Oh man, I just love how Doughboy was like, "Did he get him?" Oh shit. Okay. Oh, and just really quickly, who was the finest? Ricky Baby Mama or the chicken Trey's Fantasy?
I need to Google this. I can't remember what the fantasy girl looked like.
The girl in the white.
I can't remember.
She was almost wearing the shit Bailey was wearing on SmackDown Friday.
That don't help nothing.
She was the girl she was asking for, "Is this your ride?" Now I want to drive it.
Hold on. Let me see.
Then you got Ricky's baby mama. She was like, he got a grandchild. For me, I would say Ricky baby mama. For me, I always thought she was bad as fuck.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Fantasy girl.
Fantasy girl for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you. Okay.
I thought you was gonna ask me something difficult.
Oh, come on, Quez, don't do that.
Hey, bro, if a chick an airhead, it takes a lot out of the quality of how well a woman looks, bro, for me.
But in the words of MG, you're not fucking her personality.
Nah, bro. I think I told you. I think I told you the story where I was working with this one chick, and she was thinking than all get out, bro.
Uh-huh.
And she called herself like trying to scoot past me, like it was like me, and it was like a table. She had to scoot past, like she could have easily run around. She would scoot past me, like she had to stick her butt out trying to call herself like get in the room or whatever like that. And when I tell you, I felt no sensation. No, it was just like no, nothing happened. And then as I already learned, it's like, bro, this chick's a dumbass, bro.
Well, I never got the impression that Ricky Mom was a dumbass.
No, I'm
But
talking about bro. I'm talking about my situation.
oh,
Like,
okay, okay, yeah,
like
yeah.
if I meet you and I figure out you can't even put the square peg in a square hole and you try to put it in the round hole, it's like I can't fuck with you. Like intelligence is it very well means a lot to me in courting and or getting it with a girl. Like if you you can't even read your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, let alone if you try to tell me you don't know how to count change, like no, I can't get it in. I'm sorry. That's like these dudes talking about say like, bro, I don't care how dumb she is, bro. She look good. The ass is fat, bro. I'm in there. It's like it doesn't work like that for me.
Listen, all I will say is this: both them chicks, hey, happy Black History Month, fine as hell.
I mean they are. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like her in that movie, like in that role. If I'm thinking about the character wise, it just doesn't go as attractive. I thought she was gonna go to spittle like, okay, whose character was finer, Nia Long or Regina King? I was like, oh, you went that route. Oh, okay.
Well, okay. Regina King or Nia Long? Who was finer?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought.
Man.
Okay.
I'm going to say Regina King.
Regina King?
I say Regina King.
Oh, by the way, the friend I was telling you about that knew my dad, he's watching the show. Shout out to him. He just texted me and said, "Hey, shout out to you and Quez. Great review. R.I.P. Mr. Timms. Thank you, man.
Shout out to you for watching, homie. Thank you so much for tuning in, bro."
And he added two quick points. One, he said that Doughboy was nothing like Old Dog. Old Dog would have shot Ferris straight up on Crenshaw. Yep, that is true. And he also says that shout out to I'm sorry, James, but the girl in the white was she was always fine as fuck to me. Yeah, she was, like, she absolutely was, bro. Okay, so
hey, you can't help she had her frontals out in there too, though.
Come on, why you gotta ruin it, bro? I was hoping we go to show without bringing that up.
Hey, at least I kept it PG. And then we talk about like which one's finer. I'm like, okay, how can we not acknowledge the girl in the white and her scene and what she had exposed?
Well, it was Yeah. Shout out to the natural, beautiful women back then, bruh. All right, so out of 5 stars for Black History Month, 5 black fists. Where would you give Boys in the Hood?
Have we ever given anything a 5 out of 5 yet?
I think this is the first. I gotta go back. I think it's the first time we actually rated a film.
I don't think it is. We just haven't remembered to do it often. But I don't think we done like if whatever we did one, no movie ever went a 5 out of 5 black fist. This one. With the quality of it, shoots. And the longevity. I'm going to give it a 4.5 black fist.
I'm right there with you. I was about to do the same thing. 4.5 to me. I think the storytelling is great. How Jonathan wrote these characters was great. I thought the acting all around was solid. Great performances by Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding, Morris Chestnut, Nia Long. It's just a classic film, and it's aged so well. Especially Ice Cube's speech about how they don't know, don't show, don't care about what's going on in the hood. It still rings true to this day. When it says Doughboy dies, bro, that shit still hurts, bro. Because I already told you my theory. If Doughboy if he was still alive, he'd be Fudge on Higher Learning. And yeah, man, and holds probably one of the saddest deaths in black movie history with Ricky. Great movie. He was gonna make it out, but he didn't. But Trey did, and Brandi did. Yeah, just a great film, man. Great film. But yeah, so that concludes us doing this school's Boys in the Hood live movie review. Next week is the Super Bowl. It's the one thing we're doing this February. We gotta miss a week. Just real quick, because are you free this upcoming Friday?
No.
Shit. Okay. All right. Okay. So what about? Because I think I'll be free. What about Saturday?
Definitely not. I got a family engagement.
All right. So we're not gonna do our next movie review until February 18th.
Like one of those weeks, like that week, we probably have to do a double header.
Probably, yeah, probably. I think the next movie in line was it Cooley High or Coming to America?
No. Ooh, shoot, I can't. It was Coming to America because I remember you followed this movie up with Eddie Murphy. So I was like, oh yeah, this is back-to-back hitters you wanted to start with. So yeah, it was Coming to America. Coming to America will be our next review. You talking about the first one or the second one? Because I seen 2 in there. So
hell no, what's the first one?
There wouldn't be no Black History Month movie stuff without Eddie Murphy, especially if James was in charge. It has to be an Eddie Murphy.
Gotta do an Eddie film. Gotta, bro.
Especially after all the love y'all showed us last year with Boomerang.
Oh yes, for sure, definitely. And hopefully y'all liked the whole me, got the video playing in the background. Hoping that was a cool little touch for y'all. But yeah, tell us what you think of Boys in the Hood from 1991. Is it a classic? What's your favorite moments? Favorite characters? What this movie meant to you growing up? Let us know. Hit that like and subscribe button.
James, wait. Before you close out, I know we gotta go, but before you close out, we would be remiss if we did not bring up the soundtrack.
Oh, iconic soundtrack. Tony
Back
Tone, Ice Cube, How to Survive in South Central, classic.
shit, Ice Cube, Too Short. Like this soundtrack was stacked, especially at that time where people would check for soundtracks for the movies where you would buy the movie and you could buy the soundtrack separately and it would still do well. You know, because those was loaded. So yeah, Boyz In The Hood soundtrack definitely underrated. If y'all haven't checked it out or listened to it, y'all go check it out along with the movie if you still haven't seen it or if you're looking for a rewatch, because you hear the music in the background. I was plugging some music in our Discord earlier from the movie, and I'm just like, oh yeah, man, this definitely takes back the nostalgia, especially with the intro that James played with the song that opened up with. I was like, oh yeah, man, in my Booker T voice. Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man.
So yeah, definitely salute to the soundtrack and everybody involved in the project. Definitely making it a movie classic, which is why a lot of people have this movie as their number one favorite hood movie. You know, and it's a shame that MG wasn't able to join us for this one because he kept campaigning James for years. Even before this series of Black History movies was actual thing, he campaigned for years for this movie to be done.
Well, I mean, hey, hopefully he enjoys. Hopefully he enjoys the review that we did. Yeah, but this was fun, man. I'm glad to have these reviews back. Coming back for the time being. Kenny Power says, "Coming to my favorite Eddie film." We'll save it for next time.
Why do I have a feeling that Coming to America might be the longest video? All the Easter eggs, all the moments for Eddie you're going to point out.
Look, you know I'm an Eddie guy.
The comparisons of like, this is best movie comparisons between, okay, Boomerang, Coming to America, or any other Eddie Murphy film that you're going to compare it to. Like, which one's the greatest? Well, how does it stand out? And then the cast of Coming to America. You want to talk about how Boyz In The Hood was stacked, bro. Coming to America cast. We'll talk about it then, but we want to talk about stacked versus stacked cast.
Oh yeah, that definitely has a stacked cast, and also, please be sure to check out the Primetime Podcast, where we all did a video, our first initial response to the Cody Rhodes Rock Roman situation, which has been the topic of discussion with the past for the whole weekend. So please sure check that out. And of course, my Primetime James Thomas wrestling channel, where I just released my match from last night, where new developments of the storyline between Rip Stubble. What are you gonna say, Quez?
No, I was saying, hey, yeah, you was talking about your match, but I was also at a point, I was like, hey, Mark had a point. You low-key got to do a commentary tomorrow because of all this stuff going on.
Oh, man, I gotta see. I'll see.
Is it true that Cody's fighting Shinsuke tomorrow?
In a bull rope match.
He's done. Cut the camera off. Cut the show off. He's done. Bro, cut the show off, bro. He's done. Yeehaw. JBL coming back on commentary. He for that match too. Bro,
I'm sick. Done. Cody Rhodes was Ricky, and the Rock is the dude that shot Ricky.
Oh my. Bro, cut the camera off, bro. Cut it off, bro. It's over. This man Cody is cooked, bro. He went from main event WrestleMania to doing motherfucking bull rope match with Shinsuke, bro. It's over.
Just really quickly, my friend just tweeted. Shout out to Regina King for saying, Like Ferris is a buster. He know he can't fight. That's why I always want to shoot somebody. And quick note: the scene when Ferris shot the gun in the air, uh, that was actually real because John Singleton did not inform the cast that shots was going to be fired, mostly blanks. But yeah, but when they all cleared out, when they all cleared out like that, that was everybody's legit reaction.
And then you just hear John Singleton yell, "God!"
so
Like you motherfucker.
bro, like, so when you see Cube, when you see Cube smoothly cast the gun to Chris in the back, and how he quickly got out of there, and fucking Morris Chestnut he didn't know where to go. He was running all over the place. That was everybody's legit reaction. That's fucking great.
I quit. Unsafe work environment.
I'll be so pissed at John, bro. But
Ricky would have pissed himself for real.
oh shit, that's fucked up, man. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Please hit that like, subscribe button. Thank y'all for the love and support for the Primetime Movie Network channel.
Thank y'all, man.
And we'll see y'all next time for Coming to America.
Stay tuned for the Gorehound, Primetime Gorehounds too.
Your Primetime Gorehound as well. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end this crazy ass weekend off with a bang. So everyone
And
be
if y'all
safe.
haven't checked out the Halloween Resurrection review that James and Paul did, highly recommend you guys check that out.
Oh, you saw it?
I couldn't believe it either.
Hey, I don't hate the movie. I don't. I love Buster in the movie. I do. But yeah, please sure check that out. Man, that was definitely a fun time. So yep, we are out, y'all. Have a great night, and we'll see y'all later. Happy Black History Month. Peace.
Peace.